Welcome to Isle Royale National Park, one of the least visited national parks in the lower 48. A remote island in the middle of Lake Superior with no roads, no easy access, and no reasonable way out once you're in. Our plan was to hike the Minong Ridge to Greenstone Ridge Loop, covering about 82 miles across the island. Fewer than 30,000 people make it out to the island each year, and it doesn't take long to feel it. Most of the time, it felt like we had the entire trail to ourselves. It felt like you were more likely to see a moose than another person. We hit the trail across the island, carrying everything we needed on our backs. For the first couple of days, everything about the island felt almost too perfect. Clear skies, quiet trails. But the thing about being this far out, once you're on the island, you're committed. And when the weather turned, it didn't stop. 3 straight days of unseasonable cold and rain. It was at this point that it became less about the miles and more of a test of how prepared we actually were. Getting out to Isle Royale National Park isn't that simple. There's really only a couple ways you can do it, either a ferry from Michigan or Minnesota or a seaplane. Some of the ferry rides can take a couple hours, or you can fly in about 40 minutes. Either way, you're crossing Lake Superior, and once you leave the mainland, your vehicle stays behind, and you're all in. The Minong Trail is considered one of the toughest stretches on Isle Royale. It's got rugged terrain, rocky footing, pretty steep climbs, and slower miles than the map might suggest. We'd be covering the western section first, with about 11 miles to our first camp. We've got roughly 11 miles on our first day, and I think we're gonna have a relatively quiet and peaceful journey this week on this hike, as it is Labor Day weekend, and most people are back to their school schedules. Scouts are probably done for the year coming here, and there were really only 20 people on our boat. So we should have an amazing, relaxing adventure.
At our first fork.
And we are at our first fork. Our goal today is to start on the Minong Trail, which we're just entering right now. And that's the 11-mile portion that we have to hike to get to our first camp.
Well, luckily we won't be coming back to this way. No, I meant like, we have to go up.
The first day went about as well as we could have hoped. Moderate to warm temps, steady but difficult miles, and views that made it easy to forget just how remote we really were. First beaver dam of the trip, and it's a doozy. You step off one little log and your dry feet are gone forever, or at least a couple hours. You can tell people are like grappling the trees. Like pulled this tree down. Whoa, it's pushing me back out of the water.
Hang on, diver. Ride it, cowboy.
Whew, that was icky. We got 6.5 miles left, so we're about halfway done on our first leg. It's been going pretty smooth. We've got some really nice different changes in ecosystems. We've got this kind of the rocker, hilly part, but then we also go down into some beaver dam low areas where it's some low bush and some of that ecosystem. So it's a really neat park. You get a couple different looks at different kinds of scenery, but we're making good time. It also didn't take very long to realize who also uses these trails. Fresh moose tracks were everywhere, and finding antlers out there made it feel even wilder. Looks like a piece of a
little moose antler. Not a very big one though, because there's the end. Since we're in a national park, we can pick things up, but we need to leave them where we found them for others to discover. So we'll put this one back down and hope that we can find a moose in a little bit. How close are we?
We have 0.4 miles to the top of this last climb, and then a 0.5 mile descent into camp.
Whew. Let's do it.
End of the site.
I'm ready for some supper. Ready for my shoes to come off.
I'm ready to take my shoes off for sure.
And I'm ready to take this 15-pound pack off my back.
And the rest of it.
Oh wait, maybe it's 40.
By the time we reached camp on the north side of Lake Desor, we were feeling pretty good. 11 miles in, everything going to plan.
Pulled out my man bun. You wouldn't believe it, but every camp spot was full. But some nice resident campers here kind of clued us in on this spot. It's really meant for 2 people, but we're gonna have to fit 3 tents on here because the entire campground is full. So it's time to get everything set up and relax because we just put on about 11.5 miles. 12. Put on 12 miles.
Exactly.
And on what would probably be the hardest part of our entire journey. Let's get these get this tent set up and eat some supper. Day 1 supper is pad thai. So essentially I've got ramen with some spices in it. I've got powdered peanut butter. I've got olive oil to make it have more calories. I've got Spam for the meat to put in there, and then some soy sauce. Well, after we got our supper eaten and cleaned up, the sun just shot over the horizon and it's already dark. So I'm gonna get, I think we're gonna get in our tents and because we're gonna have a long day tomorrow and hit the hay. I'll see you guys in the morning. Morning. Let's go get some breakfast and get the camp tore down so we can get on our hike. Breakfast for today is I started cold soaking this before I went to bed, but it's muesli, vanilla protein powder, and 2 scoops of powdered goat milk. So it'd be very similar to just an overnight oats recipe, except that muesli has seeds and raisins and stuff in it.
Yeah, I think
we got 11 miles today to Todd Harbor, and the bonus is there's fishing at the end, so that'll give me incentive to keep hiking.
The stretch between North Desor and Todd Harbor is classic Minong Trail. Has quite a bit of rocky footing, constant elevation changes, and there's stretches where progress comes slower than you'd expect.
You may have seen these in the background as we've been hiking, but what we've got here is a cairn, and it's a divisive location item. There's a lot of people that don't think they should be built in the wild because it takes away from the footprint, or it adds to the footprint that humans were here. But without these cairns on this trail, there was multiple times we would have got lost. So I don't know how I feel about them right now, but I can tell you that if you ever come on this trail and you get to these ridges, at this point look for the cairns and they're gonna lead you in the right direction. No pressure rod. It'd make some great content though if you fell in, just saying.
Well, I could almost just step on this rock right.
Even though Isle Royale sits on Lake Superior, water management is still something hikers have to think carefully about. There are certain sections of the trail where you may only cross a stream or two during the day.
Water bottles are filled up, so guess what? Down the trail we go.
This part of the trail in Isle Royale feels especially isolated. There are long stretches out here where you might not see another hiker all day.
Here's another mushroom you can find in the northern states, at least in the Midwest. It's called a chanterelle. Really tasty. You can tell that it's a chanterelle by, instead of having gills that are straight lines that just come up the back of the mushroom, these are more like veins. They're not just one consistent line. They kind of zigzag around and look like veins, but these are a very tasty mushroom. I'm gonna put it back on the forest floor just because we still got 4 miles till camp, and they would dry out and they'll get broken up on our bags. But if we get to camp early enough, we would pick these and try to cook them up and have them for dinner. So a nice little neat find as we traverse the island, and there's a lot of things to forage at this place. Okay, we've made it to the crossroads here. We've got a couple different options, but we're heading for Todd Harbor. We made really good time on that last leg. We only got 1.4 miles. Rod's a little bit ways behind us, but he sent us forward to gain some time here because we need to try to get a camp spot, because most of the people that were at our camp spot at the lake yesterday were also heading to this spot, which is on a harbor on Lake Superior.
Yeah.
My feet hurt so bad.
Well, today was better than yesterday.
Oh.
The afternoon was definitely better.
Friends, I am sore.
Omens, countrymen.
But guess what? If I set my tent up right now, I get to go fishing. And that motivates me beyond anything else. Supper is soaking right now, so let's go catch some fish. Or at least see if we can hook into something. No fish here. I'm kind of getting hungry. Let's go get some supper.
I'm definitely getting that piece tonight. Okay.
Here's my supper for tonight. I cold soaked noodles, added 6 packs of mayo, added buffalo wing mix and bacon bits, and then I had some dehydrated onion, red pepper, and jalapeno I threw in there for a macaroni buffalo concoction. It's really good. It takes about an hour and a half to cold soak the noodles once you put them in the water, but it's excellent.
With trying to keep my total bag weight under 40 pounds, I'd only brought 2 sets of clothes for the trip. So with good weather still holding on, I figured this would be a perfect chance to wash one set in Lake Superior.
Ooh, that's cold.
Day 3 greeted us with rain. The weather rolled in overnight, and the clothes I'd washed in Lake Superior never dried. With only 2 sets to hike in, that suddenly became a problem.
The weather is a lot different than it was the last 2 days. Windy, 50s for temperature, and it rained basically from maybe 2 in the morning till now it's about 6. So it's gonna be a lot different day. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be kind of wet, kind of rainy, and we're expecting up to 30-mile-per-hour winds while we hike today. So we're gonna try to get packed up real quick because everything's wet and get out of here so we can at least get to our next camp, and to try to get everything dried out because now everything is a little moist. Today for breakfast, warm granola cereal. So triple berry granola with vanilla protein powder and 2 scoops of powdered goat milk. This is probably gonna be my favorite breakfast. Uh-oh, it's raining.
I think this is where the guy went in with the canoe, and I think he's gonna do the chain of legs.
That's how I was gonna do it when I was gonna do my canoe trip, actually. You would not want to be on the water today. Woo. Look at the waves just splash up against the shore. We need to get back in the woods where it's not as windy, a little warmer. It's starting to rain too. I'm gonna go meet up with Rod and Joe. I wanted to get a shot of the island on Superior, and the wind has really picked up, so those waves were just insane.
We left Todd Harbor headed for West Chicken Bone, just over 10 miles for the day. It was gonna be cold, it was gonna be windy, and it was gonna be absolutely uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh, look to your right. Joe found the mother lode chanterelle spot. I'm gonna pick a few more of the chanterelles. Look at all these. They're everywhere. On the ground here. Pick a few more. Got the veins on the back, so they're good. I think I'm gonna cook these up in some of my olive oil tonight for supper. It's nice and cool out, so they shouldn't dry out while we're hiking. Those are nice and foraged. Wild fungus. Oh. Things are going from decent to miserable as the temps begin to drop, and it continues to rain a little bit harder. So we're just gonna keep moving to try to get to camp because we got a lot of wet stuff that we need to get dried out before it's just a miserable night and cold weather in our tents. Oh, it's cold.
As we pushed towards West Chicken Bone, the rain stopped feeling like an inconvenience and more like an actual threat. Because of how my rain gear was sitting, water started to work its way inside. And by then, I didn't have any dry hiking clothes left.
Folks, this is miserable. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's cold, and it's just pouring rain, and I'm a little concerned about my stuff, my tent being wet, thus some of my stuff getting wet when I put it up. We made it. Conditions are the same, miserable. Get the water out the camera lens here. And you can see it right here. I mean, most of the tent pads are just lakes full of water. But we are at West Chicken Bone. I have found a little dry spot right under these trees. I'm probably going to face my door away from the lake because that's the way the wind's blowing and the cooler didn't come in. So I'm going to try to get my stuff set up in this rain and then probably get in my tent and try to warm up. This day couldn't have got any worse. It's just non-stop rain. Setting my tent up in the rain is awful. So of course I've got moisture now in my tent because it's just raining while I put it up. And then when I was hiking, my rain pants kind of got pushed down below my raincoat because of my pack. And so my shorts and underlayers are wet. And I was, in my infinite wisdom yesterday, I washed my clothes, my other spare pair, so I'd have a dry pair. But they never dried because it started raining last night. So I'm very short on dry clothing. I refuse to put my final pair of dry socks and my stocking cap on because my hair is wet. So I don't even need those when I go to bed. So unless it stops raining, we're going to spend the entire rest of the afternoon in our tents hanging out, because there's really nothing else to do, and the wind chill's probably in the lower 50s right now. And it's supposed to get down to 47 tonight. So I'm a little worried about the temperatures. So give you an update in a little bit, but we're gonna hunker down for now and try to ride this thing out. See how this tastes. I added some Spam in there for some extra calories. Probably would have been better without the Spam.
Really?
Yeah, the Spam throws off the whole garlic parm. Oh, I'm stuffed. Wind seems to be dying down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think if the wind does die down, it might be okay if I can just hunker down in my sleeping bag. It's about 7 o'clock. I just finished my supper, and I'm gonna hunker down and try to watch some TV on my phone, since there's not really much else to do, and just pray that we can make it through the night. It's gonna be really cold, but I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. That had to have been in the low 40s last night. It was freezing. I don't want to get out of my bag. It's so cold. The good news is the clothes I was wearing though are all dried out. So that's good. But I don't want to get these clothes wet just in case it does rain again today. So I'm probably gonna wear wet clothes while I'm hiking just to see if I can get some evaporation off those clothes and dry them out.
Morning didn't bring much relief. Cold, damp, and there was more rain waiting for us.
Feels lighter today. We were just going through a little muddy path. Found 2 wolf prints on the ground. So they've been through here, and they're pretty fresh because it just rained. So these, I don't know, last 24 hours, maybe less, maybe overnight.
One thing that surprised me about Isle Royale was how large it feels once you're on foot. The island is only about 45 miles long, but the terrain, weather, and isolation makes it feel much bigger than the map suggests.
Always scared these are gonna be slick. It's been raining. I was wondering if we might find some pitcher plants on some of these bog areas. We finally did. Right there. are pitcher plants, carnivorous plants. This trail is definitely a lot more worn than the Minong Trail. A lot wider. Not as much overgrowth.
Heading to Lake Richie from Mosky Basin drops you into the Indian Portage Trail. Historically, this corridor connects travel routes across the island, and today it still serves as an important link through the eastern side of Isle Royale.
Me and Joe made it to our next stop. We're gonna try to fish, but of course, every time we try to fish on this journey, we encounter rain and wind, so this isn't a surprise. But we're at the campground checking it out. I wanted to show you guys what the shelters look like that you can camp in on Isle Royale as well. So you got your single sites, you got your group sites, which we've been at also, and then you've got the enclosed areas that you can camp under as well if nobody has them taken. So it would have been great to get one of these for this trip just because, of course, it's been raining and cold the whole time, but you probably have to get up pretty early to secure one of these. Found Rod at Lake Richie. He didn't get eaten by the wolves since we were tracking those wolf paw prints for 6 miles. But wouldn't you know it, starts to rain the minute we get ready to put stuff up. If we're fishing or we're putting up tents, it's raining. Here's our chanterelles we picked. I'm going to saute them up in some of my extra olive oil that I brought and have them as kind of an appetizer before I have my main supper. So I'm going to do what Joe's doing. And I'm going to dry saute them as he recommended. He's the chanterelle expert, not me. Oh, it smells amazing. Now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. Fry them up real nice. Those are good. Supper was really good tonight. You guys missed out. But I think it's time to get my tent here. Get everything organized. Go to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Day 5. Still rain. You guys ready to go?
One day closer.
All right. Let's head on out.
The rain still came and went, but something had changed. Our clothes were finally starting to dry. The weather wasn't winning every battle anymore. When you're living out of a backpack, small victories can have a surprisingly big impact on morale.
That's the biggest lake on the island. And there's an island on that lake. So if you are canoeing on this and you get there, you can say you've been on the biggest island, on the biggest lake, on the biggest island, on the biggest lake by surface area. Hatchet Lake, half a mile, almost there. I made it to the campground. As my dad would say for the Boundary Waters, this is a 5-star camp spot. Close to the water, close to the bathroom. Great flat tent pads. Plenty of room for our group of 3. I want to show you guys the latrine system up here. Fully enclosed. We're spoiled at this national park. We can poop in privacy. Pretty nice. It's not every day you can do your business and not have to get rained on like in the Boundary Waters. Man, it must be the weather. I haven't had a single bite this entire trip. It's been brutal. Good morning. Let's get packed up. This is gonna be one of our toughest days. 13 miles and 2,000 feet of vertical gain. Let's get her done. Oh, so light. Oh, finally made it up there. That was a rough way out of the gate there.
Went down to the river, wash my sins away. Pray, 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 and pray for another day. I went down to that river, wash my sins for free. The devil's on the other bank, staring back at me. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man.
Well, today is my birthday. I turned 41 today. So to celebrate, since I don't get a cake or anything like that, I've packed all M&Ms for my first break snack. And I even packed in a couple over a serving just to be extra special. It's the little things when you're hiking.
2.1.
2.1 miles per hour is our average. Not too bad.
Our ETA is 219.
Wow. .4 miles to camp.
One more night on Isle Royale, with one final hike in the morning, back to Wendigo.
Good morning. We're getting up bright and early today. It's about 5:30 in the morning. Trying to keep it quiet because quiet hours are until 6 a.m. We've got about a 6-mile hike to get to the ferry, and we need to get there at noon so that we don't miss it, so we can get home. So we're gonna get up here in the dark, pack up so we can get on the trail.
Although it's faster than actually some of my regular
Camp is packed up. 6 more miles.
7.
Let's finish 7.
Yeah, 6.8 something.
7 more miles? All right, I think I can tack another 1 mile on there. Let's get to the boat.
Every step brought us closer to the end. Back to dry clothes, back to a hot meal, back to a normal life. Part of me already knew I was going to miss this place. When we were walking into Wendigo, there was really only one thing left to do. I hadn't caught a fish all trip, and I wasn't about to leave Isle Royale without at least giving it one last shot.
Finally, all this fishing, all we had to do was just wait for the boat. And all of a sudden, a nice brookie comes up.
What'd he come on?
I was lazy. I didn't even use a trout. I just used a twister tail with a gold jig head. It's really deep here. He just came up to it, swam up, and bit it.
I'll grab my stuff and throw a few spinners.
All of a sudden, Rod's fishing now. Trout, you want to get your hands wet before you pick them up, just because of their natural slime. There you go. Look at the colors. The orange, the dots, the swirls on its...
White stripes get me.
Yep. So this is a coaster brook trout.
Yep.
We'll let this one go.
There it goes. Oh, you're fishing.
Isle Royale isn't a walk in the park. Getting here takes effort. Exploring even takes a bit of research and planning. But it won't be the sunshine I remember most. It'll be the challenge, the perseverance, and the wild, relatively untouched wilderness. And that's exactly why I'd come back. Until next time, this is Lyon's Untamed Path.